Hey everyone, my name is Kristen and this is my very first tutorial. Shout out to Columbia County Ballet for letting me be responsible for sharing my love of makeup and how to apply it with dancers, parents, guardians, whoever watches this video. I'm going to link their website. They are a local ballet studio here that has been in Augusta for over 30 years now, and they're amazing. So I'm going to just go through the basic steps of makeup, and it's going to be a little bit darker because it's going to be for the stage. So the first thing that I always tell everyone to do, and if you've worked around me or you've been around me, you know that I want everyone to moisturize. And when I moisturize, I mean like everything, all over your eyelids, down here. Whew, this is a lot of light on this old face. So you just want it everywhere because it's a great thing to get in the habit of doing, even if you are a preteen or a teenager. That'll stay with you forever. So you want to moisturize everywhere. You want to put it all the way down your neck. Especially if you have quick changes, this makes it so much easier for the volunteers backstage to get your makeup off of you and change you into your next character or whatever it is you need to do. It's just so much easier to remove makeup. So definitely moisturizer. This is something that I use, but honestly, it could be any brand. A lot of people like Neutrogena just because preteens or teenagers and they have acne-prone skin. So I always use a primer when I do my eyes. And then, especially for stage makeup, I like to use a second coat of an even thicker primer. Like once I get this on, and I'll show you what it is. You just want to apply it all over your eyelid. And this is Thank Me Later. And I believe that just came in Ipsy. But something that I have always used for probably like 10 years. This is Wet n Wild Coverall. It's so inexpensive. They sell it at Walmart. They sell it at Target. I like to put it all over my lid because when you actually apply your eyeshadow, it'll totally make it pop. So you just want to put a little bit on. For me, I don't like to mess with a brush too much when it comes to priming the eyes because I feel like concealer brushes just are super duper like prickly and pointy, and I feel like that I'm really like getting the actual concealer, which I'm using as a primer, like all over my lid and everywhere that it needs to go. So you want to make sure everything is totally covered. And then this is a palette that I got, and it was only $2.99 at one of the local hair stores here that's privately owned. It's not a big box store, but it has all the colors that you need to do your basic makeup for the theater. And this is for the apprentice and senior dancers because I think I'm probably going to have to do another tutorial for the actual juniors and petites, which is the younger dancers. So this is the palette, and really, I mean, if you have a naked palette, it'll work too. You just need to take the lightest shade, which for me, I'm going to go with that because it's going to show up way better. And a good tip with eyeshadow that's not, I would say not like, it doesn't have to be super expensive, but if you feel like it's coming on like way, way too like splotchy, you take your shadow, rub it on your skin, and then work it into your brush. So when I take the lightest shade, like I said, depending on your skin tone, you just want to really highlight right under the brow with the lightest shade of your palette. And again, the Naked palette, Chocolate Bar, they have really great makeup, but if you don't want to spend that much money, I totally suggest just a regular brand at a beauty supply store like Nicka K, NYX, and I'll link the names of the stuff below, so if you need to purchase any of it, you can. But you definitely want to make sure you just really pack the lightest color in there, because if not, when you're up on stage, it's not going to make a difference, and it just won't look right. So I always start from the top because I tell everyone that if you're starting from down here and then try to work your way to the top with a highlighter or whatever it is that you put on your brow bone, it's just going to become muddy and not cute, and nobody is going to even be able to see the difference, so you wasted all your time doing the makeup for no reason. And you don't want to do that. So a good transition color is usually, I go for something like more coppery. I would say something like in the medium to light brown family, just so you're not going from your highlighting color to your smoky color, because that's what we're going for, is a smoky eye. So you want to take the medium to light brown color, and if you, a lot of times I like to use this kind of brush. It's fluffy, it's a blending brush, but it does really well in your crease. And if you have a very extremely like hooded eye or low crease, you start at your crease and then you want to work it back up to a little bit. I would say you can go a teensy bit on your brow bone, but you just want to make sure you work it in there. And I always say there's no such thing as too much blending. You want to get it so there's not any like harsh lines, so it doesn't look like you're attempting a cutout, because that's definitely not what we're going for when all the dancers are trying to, you know, look somewhat uniform. And again, this is going to be a smokier eye. This is going to be darker. What I'm doing right now is very similar to what the younger dancers can do for basic makeup. But after this transition color, we're going to go into a really, really dark brownish black color to accentuate the eyes. And again, if you have a higher crease, you don't really have to worry about it. Mine's lower and I have a little bit of a hooded eye, so I like to bring the powder, or the shadow rather, a little bit further up. But you really do want to make sure that you can see the difference between the transition color, which is the light to medium brown color, and the highlight color that's on the actual brow bone. And excuse my sweating, I'm nervous and I have a bunch of lights on my face right now. So the next color you're going to go to, again, depending on your skin tone, we're going to go in the outer corner of the eye. I am going to use a combination of this very black color and then the brown that's next to it. And like I said earlier, the Nicka palette, they have a great dark color. It's like a black with a little bit of shimmer in it, and then they also have a dark brown color. So again, I would say if you are very fair skinned, you kind of want to mix the brown and the black. And while we're on this eyeshadow part, I'm going to go ahead and just say, because some people like to do their face makeup first. I'm not a fan of that, just because if you're doing a darker eye, unless you're using tape, which I've used in the past, you're going to have a lot of fallout, which is the powder that comes down here. And it's just so much easier to do the eyeshadow first, for me anyways. Again, it's all up to personal preference. This is just a tutorial that is going to be geared towards the older dancers, and some of those dancers are still like finding their way in makeup and figuring out what works for them and what doesn't, but I just figured I'd do this tutorial to kind of help people out. When it comes to stage makeup, you really can pack it on. You want to be able to see it, but you don't want to look like you have black eyes, because it's just going to show up really weird on stage. So you just kind of bring that in a little bit further than halfway, and you'll see in a moment that it's going to be blended, because right now it kind of looks like insane. I know, it's crazy. But you really want to go out a little bit further. And you can bring that side down too. Let's see. And then you can go back in with the transition color, which is the medium to light brown. And you really want to blend that out with the highlight color. And again, go back in with the transition color that you used. And this is driving me insane. Haha. And again, you can never blend too much. It's impossible. Unless you blend your makeup totally off, and that's just sounds like a personal problem. Okay. And so before you go to the inside, we're going to take the transition color again and blend the round part right here of your lid, just so there's not like a distinct line. So you're just going to take that. I mean, technically, you don't need like a million brushes. I have a bunch of them, but I mean, this is really like one of my favorite things. There's multiple like blending brushes. It's just a longer bristle with a fluffier end, and it really helps blend. So I know it looks crazy because I'm sweating, because I'm nervous, and I've got all these lights everywhere, and you can just see all that. And so for the inside corner, shadow, 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 I used that for my brow bone, and I'm gonna go to this pinky color, and I'm just gonna take that, like I said before, working it in right here. And there's actually color on that. Surprise, surprise. Let's find something to wipe that on. Just take my scarf. I look crazy. I gotta stop being on camera without brows, because, oh my god, it's rough. Alright. Where were we? You take the pink color, work it in here just so it gets on the brush enough. Try and get as close as I can without knocking the camera off. You want to go into your inside corner of your eye, and really you can go back and highlight later, but for the sake of the video and explaining this, it just gives you a very nice gradient effect from the light color to the transition color to the dark color. And again, we'll go back over probably the inside, and this again is the pinkish pearl color of that palette that I got. Oh, hello. And just, you want to blend it out just to make sure there's not any distinct lines. If I could stop sweating. Thanks, lights. So as you can see, it's a very similar color right here, similar color on the brow bone. You want to blend it well. We'll go back in momentarily and add a little bit more black out here, and then I'll show you how to wipe it off if I can find. I need to wipe it off. Probably should have prepared better, but you guys get the idea. So, alright, I'm gonna get another brush, because that blending brush is not doing what I want. This is a shorter brush. It's shorter, it's stiffer, it's gonna help hold a lot more pigment on there, so when I go back on the outside right here, I'm gonna take the blackest black color, and I don't want to mix it with brown because I like my stuff to be dramatic. Can you not tell? Just kidding, I don't wear this every day. Wish I had the time for it, but I don't. So we're gonna take the black, we're gonna go back in here, work it into the brush, and then we're going to go to the corner, and you can really just angle your brush because you're eventually going to want the brow. I'm going to extend it out here, and it looks way better. Because if not, it's going to look like you kind of just forgot to blend your makeup to match your brow. No one likes that. I mean, I don't like that. I don't think that would look good on stage either. So again, you just want to take it out because we're going to take the brow out. And you can blend it a little bit with that, but you don't want to blend it too much because then the color is going to come off and nobody likes that. But you definitely want to make sure, an important part of doing this is this needs to be lighter, or else you're going to be on stage and look like super raccoon eyes when you're taking pictures with your family afterwards with all that flash photography. It's not going to be cute. It's not. Okay. I'll just be a lady instead of wiping my hands. So there you go. I know it looks crazy right now. It looks like I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. So you always want it to be darker to lighter. If we were doing a smoky eye, it'd be totally different. This is more of a dramatic, soft smoky eye. Nothing too crazy. If I was doing a complete smoky eye, it'd be like black on black on black. It would look crazy because these lights are just showing all my imperfections. Thanks, lights. Okay. So, the next step I'm going to show you guys is, I'm doing my wipes because, woo! Can't wait to edit this. One of my favorite go-tos are baby wipes because sometimes makeup wipes can be super duper overpriced. These came from Walmart. They were like not even $2. So this is another tip you can use if you don't want to put tape on your face, which I'm not a super duper fan of putting tape on my face because I'm not a millennial, no offense. So you just take this, what I'm going to do, and you just kind of clean up whatever you got going on, because if you put concealer under your eye with all that fallout from the black or the dark brown or whatever it is, it's gonna look crazy, it's gonna look smudged. Usually people are doing their makeup between school or work and the theater, and no one has time for all that. So once that's cleaned off, I mean, you can even really go the extra mile and just go all the way down here, because see that, people? I try not to go out of the house without something on my face. Alright, so now after that, I usually wait till the very, very, very last step to do my eyebrows because I don't want powder stuck in there. They look dusty. I wait till the last step to do my mascara because, again, I feel like loose powder gets in there. It's dusty. It's not cute. No one likes it. But I gotta put something on this right here. No. So, I found this Maybelline Fit Me. And I really feel like I've been telling people it's L'Oreal. I lied. It's Maybelline Fit Me. And I like the matte and poreless one because I do not like my face looking dewy. I don't like it looking shiny because I have super oily skin right through here. But you will see that this finish is amazing. So what I normally do is I take the product and I just put it on my hand. I don't have time for palettes or like little trays. I don't know who in the world, probably people that don't have kids. People that don't have kids have time for that. And I take my little kabuki brush, dab it in here, and watch the magic happen. Alright, so again, I always tell people that the easiest way to match your foundation is not to match your face, don't match your hand, match your neck. If it matches your neck, then you're good to go. If not, you're either going to have an extremely thick line right here that it's going to be totally noticeable, it is going to be too dark, or it's going to be pale, and on stage, again, the stage lights are not forgiving, just like this light. Can you tell? I resent this light a little bit. It's just too much. I have not seen my face this close up without whatever. This video is going to be like 3 hours long. So, I dab it on. For some reason, I think, psychologically, I feel like if I put it on the areas that I can't stand, and I always do this because you want to bring it down, you'll see. And when you're doing the foundation, you don't want to do the sweeping, because I mean, technically, not all of us can afford the $600 set of Artiste brushes. So most likely our bristles are prickly again, and they will totally destroy your skin. Again, you just want to stipple this. I really gotta get a better background. This flat sheet is not cutting it, people. And then you want to bring it all the way down. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. Go ahead and do... Feel better already. Okay, now that is done, I'm gonna take my concealer, and again, I have Fake Up by Benefit only because I had a gift card. Normally I would not spend that much money on this. I usually use the concealers that come with Ipsy, but I take the concealer from the inside corner all the way to the outside, not just right here because it looks crazy. And then of course, I got this action right here. I'm about to show y'all another trick that I have learned in my old age. Can find it again. Okay. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. It's green because on the opposite side of the color wheel is red, and green cancels out red. So if you have redness, if you have acne, you just squeeze this little baby like that. And I have some definite discoloration right here. I don't like these too much because it's hard to cover it up if you use it with too much. And then you just kind of dab it in with your fingers. I don't like to, again, a lot of places that I have problem areas in my skin, I feel like if I use a like concealer brush on there. So okay, so you took your LA Girl green color corrector, and this stuff is banana setting powder. You really can't see it because I've used it so much. It's totally, but NYX sells one, and again, I'm going to put the names of the stuff that I like that is affordable. You take that setting powder, and you get your blending brush, and I usually use a setting powder with my blending brush, only right here just because it's easier. I don't feel like I get it everywhere. And so after you do that green color corrector, just to make sure you don't sweat it off, because I know it's hot going up and down those stairs, girl. I've done it a million times myself. Quick changes, everything else. So don't think Kristen doesn't know what you're going through. I do. I just usually like to do that because I sweat a lot right there. And then to dry your nose off. And I usually sweat a lot right through here, but after I put my powder on, you'll see that it doesn't really come off like that. So, okay, and I will use my mini concealer brush for underneath my eyes. I keep checking to see if the kids are spying on me. It's really embarrassing. Okay, so underneath the eyes, you want to just blend it out light-handed. I know it probably looks like I'm using a heavier hand than I really am, but you really don't want to tear your skin up, because if you do this, if you are really heavy-handed with your skin over the years, you continue to use the same habits, and it'll end up really damaging your face if you don't watch it. Now, I bring my concealer way down here because I'm older, but if you're a teenager, you do not need to do that. Y'all's skin does not need that much concealer. For you guys, it's really just through here And then I'm about to show you guys how to bake your face. And again, just pat some. I totally sweat everywhere. Like right through here, right here, right here. Yeah. So, baking your face. You take the setting powder, which again, you can use whatever kind of setting powder you want. There's a girl on YouTube named Morgan who has the most ridiculous YouTube tutorials. She uses Airspun from Walmart, and I think it's Almay. So when you're baking your face, you really just want to just be ridiculous, honestly. You just want to get a lot of product on your beauty blender or your sponge or your brush, and you literally are just pressing it lightly. Again, do not beat your face, like literally, just you want to just get it in there. And if you have to do 2 coats, that's cool. And then always go right here, just because it helps with contouring later. And you just leave it and finish the rest of your face and let that bake. Let that soak in. I know I look crazy. I look like, I don't know. This isn't a hair tutorial. This is a makeup tutorial. Just, it'll be fine. We'll all live. Okay, so when I do my eyebrows, I always like to, sometimes I'll take the concealer under here. It all depends. Like, I feel like I used enough primer and concealer / primer on my whole lid, just so all that right there would just be popping. So, we are going to take this brush, and I'm going to take my concealer and put it on the tip. If you have a, like, squeeze tube concealer, put it on your hand, dab your brush in there, and we're just going to go right up in here. And I know it looks crazy, but you just kind of want to go around. And this is really going to make your brows stand out. And I promise, it does not take this long to do your makeup once you get in the routine of it. So now that that's done, your face is still baking. I like to just make sure I got like right to the hair of your brow. And then you go back in, and it has to be blended. And if it seems like I just did that for no reason, you'll see once I fill my brows in that it helps them stand out. And all of this is, again, can't be blended enough, but you're going to go back in later and do that. So once we have highlighted that part, you can take eyeshadow, you can take whatever you want. This is my favorite thing on the planet right now because it lasts. It, like, if I wake up late, I still have brows on. One day, I will get microbladed. One day. It's starting to become a real big deal here, so hopefully it becomes more affordable because I can't see paying $500 for someone to tattoo my brows, and it has to be touched up in 3 months. I just don't see that, so I'm almost running out of Wonder Brow, but I will show you. So, this is an old makeup wand. This part is called a spoolie. This is a spoolie. You can buy them separately. They sell them at beauty supply stores in like 5s and 10s or whatever, but this is one of my favorite mascara wands, so I kept it and I wash it. And so before you fill in your brows, you want to just brush them up and make sure they're all going the direction that they need to be. I feel like this is the longest winded. I always feel like I'm long-winded, but I want to explain things so people have the ability to do their own makeup, and they have the ability to teach other people how to do their makeup. Okay, that's brushed out enough. Yes, I know that's still on there. I know I look crazy. I never really looked it up that close. So, Wonder Brow's brush is kind of, I mean, honestly, it's kind of like thick. So if you have thinner eyebrows, like, this is not gonna work. So I like to use, I think this is Real Techniques from Ulta. Again, this is older, but if you can see, it's a little bit thinner. It's got stiff bristles. So I take the end of this, which technically in the beginning, because my eyebrows are pretty thick up front, I like to do the front like that. And a lot of people do not like this look for their brows. They like to do that fade thingy, and I'm going to need to use my mirror for this because I do not feel like this is enough. Am I close enough? Am I close enough? I don't feel like this is good enough, so there. I fill in the front, and this stuff dries fast, so I have to go in and brush it through. Okay. And then when I'm doing the tail, which I'm going to go ahead and do the front of the other one too, because that's just... And then I'll go back in with the smaller brush. But yeah, this Wonderbrow stuff is like my favorite. I'm running low on it. So by chance, if I become YouTube famous, which I doubt, because I probably won't upload videos like YouTube stars do, because I forget and I don't have time and I have children. Don't know how they all do it. I can't figure it out. Okay, so I go in with the spoolie and make sure I brush it through so it's not clumped up. Nobody likes that. And I take my Wonderbrow brush and I get my tiny Real Techniques brush and I just take it and I get off the excess product. And then I go in, I'm going to try and do this on camera. Oh, that's weird. I don't know why, because it's just like a mirror. But I like to bring, especially on stage, I like to bring them out, like super duper. This is this is crazy. I'm gonna have to super duper practice. I like to bring them out like that. I don't usually like that sharp of an edge, so you can always go back in and round it. Yay. Okay. Now we're going. Alright. Same thing on this side. For some reason, that brow right there, when I wax it, I like to take... Okay. I would take a stiff brush. Oh, let's fix that. I'm gonna put it again. Oh, hello. You know what? Guess what? I was getting in a tizzy. Found my liquid liner. Hallelujah. So we're just gonna go over this hot mess. And this is some Prestige Cosmetics. Reminds me of Prestige Worldwide. If you don't know what that is and you're too young, don't look that up. So we're just gonna go over that. And just be extremely careful because I have been doing this for some time now. And if you can't do it, well, see, that's what I get. Trying to showboat, talking about doing it a long time, and then I made my tail look crazy. But we can fix that. We're gonna let that dry. But the good thing about pulling your brow up while you're doing this is that there will not be a weird free space between your lash line and the liner. So we're gonna let that dry. Usually, I have a thick piece of cardboard that I will use mail. Just hit myself in the nose. Sure did. On camera. Hopefully I know how to edit that out. There it goes again. This is why they call it getting your face beat. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Alright. Okay. Normally I do lashes. I ain't doing that right now because I'm sweating. And I'll probably make another video to do that. But I'm just going to take my Smashbox. And this was in Ipsy. Because I love cheap makeup. And it has a really great brush. So again, first time doing this on camera. It's not going to be the cutest thing on the planet, but you can see that's still wet, so I'm sure it's going to look fantastic. I usually like to do 2 coats. I would not suggest doing the bottom lashes because it's annoying. Not gonna lie. So there's that. If I quit throwing, what I do recommend is doing a teensy weensy bit on your lower lash line, and I suggest not going all the way to the inner corner because it's going to close your eyes up if your eyes are tiny, but you do need a little bit of liner just to kind of open them up and accentuate, and you want to stop like, you can stop halfway, you can stop right about here, but you want to make sure you kind of either take your liner, well, not everyone knows how to do this, but and it keeps cutting me off, so I'm going to hurry up. Okay. One of the important things to do, I'll try to have a brighter liner so you can actually see it on camera. Make sure your lips are moisturized, because if not, it's going to come out all crazy. And you want to fill in the entire thing, because you just want to. And then you use liquid lipstick, regular lipstick, whatever, and just go over that really well. And this one is Lip Shine by Nicka K. It's one of my super favorite brands. They sell at this small hair store. It feels really good going on. And I always suggest doing this like right before it's time to go on stage, because if you're drinking water or something, it's going to come off. And then last, well, actually it's not last. Just kidding. It's not last at all. Go on with blush. I have my Hello Beautiful Ulta palette. It just has really regular, like generic run-of-the-mill blush. You take your little angled brush or blush brush. Smile. Oh, look how pretty. And you just take it right on the apples of your cheeks and just kind of blend it out. Don't streak it on up, but you do want it dark enough that it shows up on stage. And then it's always good to go back and make sure that your shadow is blended. So I have a bigger, this is Real Techniques again, and just kind of go back over it and make sure that it's not being crazy, because to me on film this looks nuts. So you just want to blend it out, but again, make sure that there is some of this on the brow bone. Sweating. I hope that helped. Last but not least, setting spray. I have Urban Decay. Actually, it's not Urban Decay. I like the spritz better. I poured my NYX setting spray. So you just, and again, hopefully I won't hit myself in the face. I may. just want it to dry. Again, I'm trying to finish this video up before my camera stops working, or stops recording, or whatever. And this is the finished look. I don't think I'm going to figure out how to put any cool music like everybody's doing this, but hopefully it helped. As always, if you have any questions, you can email me, Facebook me, and I'll link everything down below.